Hi, Mark. How are you doing today?
I'm doing wonderful. How about yourself?
I'm doing all right. I'm happy to
Awesome.
be here to have a few minutes to talk with you about what you do and how I think the things we both do complement each other. So,
Absolutely.
um, why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about you and CSD Hardscapes?
All right. For those that don't know me, my name is Mark Dudek, aka the Hardscape Hacker, and it's hacker, uh, emphasis on that to Daniel Curry. Thank you very much, sir. Um, what I do is I design and install custom concrete hardscaping. We do of course, everything that we do is custom. It's one of a kind. We install water features, some amazing water features, retaining walls that are made to look like stone, natural stone, but it's all concrete. We don't use any forms in anything we do. Um, we do patios, walkways, fire pits, um, our concrete trees, tree stump benches, tree stump fire pits. Pretty much, if you can imagine it, we can make it. Um, what we do is really limitless, but our main goal in doing that is to help bring families together to make those lasting family memories that a lot of us don't see anymore.
And I really appreciate that aspect of what you do of bringing people together and creating a space where people want to meet and connect. And I mean, I work with people that have excessive clutter and hoarding issues, and some of the issues that I see in there is that disconnect. And there's a lot of isolation in those situations. So I love the idea that there's a way to bridge that gap. And sometimes even if internally the house is not workable, externally you can make a big difference. And
Absolutely.
mhm. And so my perspective is if you can clear that clutter, you reduce the chance of fire hazards, attracting pests, and it allows you to create an enjoyable space outside.
Absolutely, absolutely. One of the things that it's kind of a byproduct, I guess you could say, of what we do it's twofold actually. If the way we look at it, if you design and create an amazing outdoor space that will not only it's inviting, but entices you to get family, friends, whatever the case may be, to like you said, a nice little meeting space, where everybody can get together and just enjoy life and enjoy the outdoors. One side effect to that could possibly be that it'll get more people outside, and off their phones, gaming systems, laptops, whatever the case may be, from in front of the TV. Get them to enjoy nature a little bit more. They get that outdoor space, then they get excited with that, and they may decide to take up hiking or backpacking or something, some kind of outdoor activity. And on the other hand, it also it helps give them that incentive that if their outdoor area is this amazing, then they need to try to carry that inside and help bring that flow to the inside of the house as well.
And that's a really good point. If you have a space that you already love and that you enjoy, you it does encourage you to create that in other places. And I
Right.
I had a great conversation with a lady yesterday about her garden and how much she loves that. And so we had this great connecting point around getting out of our computers, getting off our phone. I kind of joke about I'm going to go be technology free for an hour because, you have to make a
Yeah.
point of that these days
Yeah.
to,
Absolutely. You have to.
yeah. And so I just see how what you're creating really facilitates that connectiveness that I think is missing often.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. To kind of expand on the point that I made earlier, if you have that outdoor area, that you love so much and you kind of want to help flow that into the inside, it turns into a kind of keeping up with the Joneses internally, I guess you could say, because you have the one area that you completely enjoy, another area, yeah, not so much. You want to help improve that so that you can, have a bigger area, because, people are I don't like the term greedy, but, in a sense, they're greedy by nature. So you have one small area, you want to make that area bigger. You want to expand, so you're going to help bring that inside. And in the process of doing that, it's going to give you that time away from the TV, away from your phone and things like that, because you're staying busy, which, it falls in line with being outdoors and possibly taking up hiking or backpacking or something like that. It gets you away from the technology. I mean, a majority of the world relies on that now, on that technology, and it's good to take a step back, as with any aspect of life, take a step back and enjoy the things that you don't get so often anymore.
And it's such a connecting point to me, and it's very grounding to be able to go outside and feel the earth under your feet, or for me it's therapeutic to pull a few weeds, or just kind of design that space mentally, and then you can go out there and kind of facilitate that. And I think it's very valuable for us to be connected to the earth, to our feet planted on the ground, so to speak, because I have my family has farming in their background, and I can feel that real connectedness to my family when I'm outside, or when I can appreciate something that's growing. And I think that can be really important, especially as we're all spread out across the world, across the country, that if you can find a way to connect with some of your history, there's a way to do that, being outside, and especially if your people were farmers, or they did things outside. It's very connecting to me. I'm trying to think of a better word, but it's very, I feel very much a part of the history when I'm engaging in something that I know they did,
Yeah,
years ago.
absolutely. It's if you remember, a while back, I used to do a Facebook Live about 2 or 3 times a week. It was called the Walk in the Woods.
Mm-hmm.
I'd walk my property and just enjoy being out there and try to help share that with everybody else. The reason I stopped doing that one is because I got out in the woods and my signal got worse and worse, and it was stuttery and the quality was just terrible. So I still do the walk. I still go out there about every other day or so, and just walk around, whether it be 10 minutes or I get tied up just looking at the trees. I've got trees that are standing, I've got trees that have fallen over time. Just the surrounding areas, everything. There's always something different to look at every time I go out there, and that's, to see that there's just something so humbling about it, and like you said, you get that connectivity, and it calms you. It just gives you an overwhelming sense of calm, and you can't get that on a TV or laptop or phone, things like that. So it's good to always be able to go back to that.
I agree, and I remember your walks in the woods, and I appreciated that. Even though I wasn't there, I could appreciate the walking out there and the peacefulness. And even I have a relatively small yard, but I still can go out there with my dog, and we just kind of do a couple laps, and I pick up sticks, and I'm like, oh, look, that's growing. And it's just kind of a way to reconnect with just the simplicity, I think, that we
Absolutely.
don't have with
Yeah.
technology. I think sometimes it makes things like you and I are talking, and that's great. And I think social media is a great tool, but I think also it can become a negative thing if that's what we're focused on always. So I
Yeah.
appreciate the idea that there's ways to connect with nature, and it's relatively simple to do that if you just make a decision for a few minutes to be I'm going to get outside.
Yeah, and a lot of times that's the hard part to do, because it's everybody's so it was like the old, well, not the old, the fairly recent adage that they came out with, fear of missing out. Everybody's
Hmm.
afraid of missing out on something, so that's why they're always on social media. They're always watching something on television. Um, it's you really have to break that trend of being fearful of missing something. You have to, you get away from yourself when you do that. We're in the age of reality TV now. Everybody's looking at everybody else's life on television, and nobody's focusing on their own anymore. So that's a great way to do that. You can, if you have internal, any kind of internal struggle that you may be going through, getting out into nature and just having that peace and quiet, and that one-on-one time, or the alone time, if you want to look at it like that, that can really help recenter you and clear your mind and help you refocus. And it gives you a completely different perspective on everything you may have been stressing about or worried about, or whatever the case may be. It helps you get back to at where you need to be, and then you can look at things with a clear mind, and refocus and push through anything that you may be going through.
And that's really very validating. And even when I'm in scenarios like when we were at MIC DC, I was like, okay, where's the tree? Where's outside? Where's the garden? Where's the, and it's, I have that reaction almost every time I go somewhere. I'm like, where's the outside space? And I didn't
Right.
really realize it was such a driving factor until I found it. And I was talking with the cashier in the store, and she's like, oh, there's this great outdoor space and you can sit under the umbrellas. And it was like, oh, this lady like totally read exactly what I needed and told me, and
Right.
it was great. I was like, all right, there's a place here in the city that I can go out and enjoy this greenery. And um, I had some great conversations out there. Um, and, and I just thought it was interesting that I chose a location that was very comfortable to me. And then when other people came and joined us, they were like, oh, this is nice. How did you find this place? So even there, even in a busy conference where we're there to connect and do that, we still need that break. And so what you do reminds me that we do need to get outside. We do need to facilitate a distraction free place where we can connect.
Absolutely. And a nice fire pit and seating area, or a nice outdoor kitchen, or even a nice water feature. What really gets me is our ability to design and install a nice water feature that also has a fire pit within it. So you
Mm-hmm.
get both the water and fire elements. To me, both are so calming. It's unreal. You get the warmth of the fire. You get the ambiance and the background noise of the water feature. It's so soothing, and it's a great conversation piece as well, because everything that we do is so unique. If we go to, everything's turning into subdivisions nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so if you're in a subdivision and you're the only one in that subdivision that has this unique water feature, your neighbors are gonna notice. One, because they may see it, because a lot of places nowadays, they don't have fences dividing the yards, or they have just a chain link where you can still see inside the yard. Um, and two, it's going to be so amazing. You're going to go around telling everybody about it and inviting people over to come see it. So I mean, it's a great way to bring people together. So yeah, I mean, it's one of the main reasons I love what we do.
Yes, I totally appreciate what you do. And I have a back patio. I know I've shown a picture of it to you before, and I'm like, wow, this thing needs help. This needs Mark's help. So
Right.
eventually I would love to figure that out, because a lot of people do have older homes, and I can just see where an upgrade in that outdoor space would make it would just I would be thrilled to have that upgrade. So I look forward to the day when that can happen.
Absolutely. The main thing I need is like you said, a couple of pictures and dimensions, and then
Hmm.
I could render a nice drawing and give you or several different drawings, just give you different possibilities as to what you could have, and we could definitely go from there.
Hmm.
So yeah, absolutely. A lot of uh, another thing about what we do is that if you own your home, of course, 99% of the people that we work with do, because you don't want to spend the kind of money that it's going to take to get something like that in a house that you're renting. So,
Right.
um, what it also does is it adds instant equity to your home, because it's going to be something that nobody has. You know, uh, uh, One of the biggest things that other people do that we do, of course, not as well, is uh, you know fire pits and outdoor seating areas, patios, that kind of things. Um, with the kind of the investment that you're going to make going with us is, there's the possibility of up to 200% return on investment,
Mm.
on what you do, that it's going to add that equity to your home when you sell it, and it's going to be something that's going to be there long after you do sell it. It's going to be something that somebody's going to enjoy for years and years and years, so that
Right.
always
It's a
helps.
great selling point too, if you're showing a home and you've got that, that's a unique selling proposition. You've got something extra that maybe isn't
Yeah,
in other homes that the people have looked at. So plus you get to enjoy it while
absolutely.
you're there. So it's a win-win all the way
Yeah,
around.
exactly.
So if people want to get in touch with you, what's the best way for them to do that?
um they can find me on Facebook. It's facebook.com/CSD Hardscapes. You can go to the website. It's csdhardscapes.com. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram under the same name. Um, and you can find me on Facebook under my public figure page, which is the Hardscape Hacker. It's just several ways to get a hold of me.
Well, I love that you are doing this and that you are really putting your message out there about connecting families and friends and neighbors. I think it's really valuable in this day and age to be doing that.
Yeah, me too. And like you said earlier, with what you and I do, they really complement each other. So I mean, it's me and you work well hand in hand, um, to get, like you said, the ultimate goal of getting people back together, creating that space where people can enjoy it and come together and create those lasting family memories.
Absolutely. I love that's the goal, that we're trying to bring people together.
Absolutely.
Well, I thank you for taking the time to talk with me today, and I will definitely be sharing this, and I can post some links, with the video so that people can find us.
Absolutely. I believe me, it was an honor sitting here talking to you today.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.